What skill do you lack that everyone else seemingly has? Remembering a name literally minutes after being introduced. I've got a LPT for this one. Just don't meet any new people ever. Estimating distance. Not in the lacking depth perception, but if you asked me to estimate how far something is, whether it be something across the room or down the road, across the city, state, country, or world, I straight up cannot give you an accurate number. But I don't have an issue throwing objects to hit a target nor picking stuff up, I just have no concept of unit measurement apparently. A friend pointed out to me recently that I don't make eye contact while speaking with people. I've been trying to get better at it over the last few months, but fuck, it's difficult. Same man. Always been a kind of shy guy, partially due to my little speech stuttering, and I noticed I have some issues looking people in the eyes while talking. Been working on it too, and it's going pretty well, especially with people I already know. Hope we can both overcome our issue. I lack the skill to bring friendships to the next level. I'm a pretty introvert person and I don't have much to say, but I can have some sort of small talk if the other person is the talkative one. I've met so many new people over the past months, but I can't seem to genuinely connect. How do people do that? What do they talk about to become friends? I just feel like the people I've tried to befriend are just acquaintances to me. Your best bet is to be as consistent as possible. I had this issue a lot. Turns out I was being flaky all the time, which sends the signal that you're not actually interested in their friendship. Say yes to every invite that you get, if you can, don't flake, don't be late, and take initiative in making plans once in a while. That being said, you could do all this and still not find a connection, and that's okay too. Not everyone is looking for new close friends and not everyone is going to click with you. But I am me simply showing you're interested raises your chances of taking a friendship to the next level. Recognizing cars. People say, when you get to my house parked behind the white Nissan, drives to block and searches every white car for the word Nissan. On our way back from a party today, my fiancé was naming cars from his rear view that were a quarter-mile back. He was doing it for fun. He was right every time. It was horrifying. Coordinating my outfits. With how regularly my close friends tell me what I'm wearing, doesn't go. I wonder how often people who aren't close to me think the same. I had someone tell me I was power clashing. They claimed it was a compliment, but I felt like it wasn't quite. How much do you care about matching? Power clashing is absolutely and definitely a look in itself. If your response to someone saying that is awful is a gleeful I know, then you're invincible. If you're a dude, get a pair of thin, black pants. Makes it super easy to match stuff and they're in style. If you're a girl, God help you, coordinating female outfits seems hard as shit. If you're a girl, wear dresses so you don't actually have to pick out different pieces. Makeup. What a fact happened? We were all wearing our makeup the same way, now we have to contour and blend and all this stuff I don't have the skill for. I can't even pinpoint when it started, but we definitely didn't have the ability to look like TV stars until pretty recently it seems. Oh well. I'll pluck my unibrow and hope the shape is normal enough to look like I cared what my face was doing when I left the house today. I never learned to use makeup in the first place, and now all my coworkers look like models and I'm over here with my adult acne looking like a teenager because I don't even know how to use concealer. And people suggest stuff to me, but the prices are crazy. Ability to whistle. I've tried to learn how to from YouTube and such so many times. It just isn't happening ever. If I alphabetize something, I still need to say the alphabet to find out which letter goes where. Sometimes if it's an R or something I get to start with them up. Also I don't know the numbers of the months. I have to count. Every time. Animal magnetism. I've never had a girl flirt with me and the whole concept of a workplace tryst or one-night stand boggles my mind. I know exactly what you're talking about, but when I hear this phrase I can only ever think it means people who literally attract animals like a magnet. Was looking for this. Same here. Everyone I know or meet seems to get laid on a regular basis, except me. I have no problems talking to people, entertaining them, and making them laugh. But I haven't for the life of me figured out how to convince someone to, go home with me. Yet all of my friends keep telling me about how easy it is for them, and how they're swatting away propositions from drunken barflies. The mind boggles. People lie about this all the time too. Ability to see things in my head. My whole life I thought things like, visualize the house you want, and picture your first bicycle, were just idioms. Found out from Reddit that I have aphantasia. Not super uncommon, but totally blew my mind. An artist came to my school in elementary school and asked us to draw a dinosaur. I raised my hand to ask for help because I just couldn't draw a dinosaur. He said, just picture it in your head and draw that. Motherfucker, I can't. What's aphantasia? The inability to visualize things in your head. I don't recognize people or remember their faces. I feel really bad about it because I work in a customer-orientated business, and people keep talking to me like I should know who they are. One time I had a conversation with a girl and at the end I said, "It was really nice to meet you. It was my cousin." Spatial awareness. I like to think I'm a fairly intelligent person, but there is basically zero connection between my head and body. I'm sure I look like some bumbling cartoon idiot with how many times I drop things, bump into walls, knock things over, trip over my own feet, lose balance on stairs. Human disaster. Funny, spatial awareness seems to be the one skill I have that everyone else lacks. The number of people who have no idea they're blocking a hallway or door because they're standing around and taking up space is staggering. I have no sense of direction, and the more I try to train it, the more I'm convinced that I shouldn't go anywhere without some sort of tracking app on my phone. Try to always have one anchoring point, like a tall building or the sea, for example. Then just try to imagine where you are in comparison to it. Social skills. I don't mean it in the I'm an introvert kinda way. I mean when it's just me and another person I completely have no idea what to say. That's the only time I do have social skills. When I'm with a group, all I do is listen. I realize after a few minutes that I'm the only one not saying anything, and I'd basically have to force myself to find something to say. When I'm just one-on-one though, I have no problems. I'll find something that I know the person is interested in, or a local event, or recent weather, anything to get a conversation started, and just go from there. Just remember, sometimes you're simply not going to hit it off with someone. And if they don't work to carry the conversation too, then you shouldn't feel bad when things crash and burn. If you're the only one asking questions, and all they're doing is talking about themselves, that's a conversation from which you just need to take your leave. Swimming. Everyone I know can swim without those inflatable tubes. You can take a swim class. I've met a bunch of people who have taken swim classes as adults, and it went really well. Our local pool even offers private lessons. Good luck. Caring about my work. I just want my paycheck while everyone else works overtime to get stuff done. Differentiating left and right quickly. I remember learning to drive. One of the most frequent things my instructor would say to me was, "Turn left." No, the other left. I am near 30 years old and I still tie my shoes with bunny ears. I wasn't aware there was another common method and I'm 30. Wait, there is another way. I'll never forget the day I discovered I can't make a normal check mark like everyone else. It may seem minor, but I realized this after someone mentioned the satisfaction of checking things off a list. They talked about the pleasure of the long swoop of the pen, but I had no idea what they meant. I started paying attention to how I made my check marks, but the long swoop never felt satisfying to me. Then one day, I noticed a friend across from me, checking something off a list in a peculiar way. I asked her to do it again, and I was dumbfounded. She started with the short leg of the check and then effortlessly flicked her pen to make the long stroke. My brain screamed at me, realizing that there was another way to make a check mark. I had always believed there was only one way. This shattered my sense of security as a right-handed person. I tried to replicate her technique but failed miserably. My attempts resulted in a short leg that barely resembled a check mark and a long leg that stretched for miles. Undeterred, I persisted, while my friend watched with amusement and concern. She eventually asked me how I normally made a check mark, and I confidently described my precise method. She burst into laughter, realizing that I had no idea how to make a normal check mark. I had become an outcast, unable to adapt to this new way. Today, I accept that I can't make a check mark the right way. It's a reminder that sometimes our unique quirks make us who we are, even if they don't conform to societal norms. The ability to form an opinion about literally any subject. Where I work, everyone is constantly debating what is going on in politics, current affairs, everyday news, and they always finish by saying, "What do you think?" to me, and I just don't give a shit. I always reply with something like, "I don't really care about XYZ. I can't wink." Poke yourself in the eye. Seeing those damn, hidden pictures that used to always be hanging up for sale in malls. You know, the ones that are just a bunch of dots, and you're supposed to look at them cross-eyed or some shit like that. Oh look, a sailboat. Bullshit. Stop lying, there's nothing there. Fuck you. Time management. I type as I lay on my bed browsing Reddit instead of doing my errands for the day. Dancing. The spirit is so often willing, but the ego always locks my body up. It's getting better, but goddamn is it difficult to not feel like a complete idiot whilst dancing. Finger snapping. The sound comes from your middle finger slapping the cushion of your thumb and the fingernail of your ring finger. Ability to care about my own life. What skill do you lack that everyone else seemingly has? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.